spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man.
Hello everybody, this is Jayme. My season 3 doesn't even start till October, so I'm thinking, God, what could I do in the meantime until I start the show back up again? And I thought, maybe since, I'm a comic collector, I like comics. Aside from movies, there's like 3 main things I collect. That's movies, movies and different formats of tapes go hand in hand, comic books, and action figures. So I figured I might as well start out with my Amazing Spider-Man collection here. And I'm not going to show you every single one I have in my collection. This is like the first time in a long time I've gone through these, and I'm just going to briefly go through, show you some key issues and some stuff I think is interesting, talk about a few of them. And this is probably going to be the first one I've gone solo on, but the reason I bring up Spider-Man comics is because of the soon-to-be release of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I never actually really talked about my thoughts and opinions on like the first 4 Spider-Man movies. And before I go into the comics, I thought I might as well just give a briefing on what I thought of each of the movies. Well, Spider-Man 1, what can you say? It's Spider-Man. Back in either 2002, 2003, I didn't see it till years later, and I thought it was actually really good. At the time I wasn't a huge fan of the Green Goblin costume, but now that I hear that they're going with the ultimate Green Goblin in the new Amazing Spider-Man movies, this is so much better than that, because I absolutely hate the Ultimate Goblin. I mean, if he's not on a board, and if he doesn't have his shit with him in like this little freaking satchel, then I don't want anything to do with it. But, okay, so the first one, that was actually really cool. And, it's Sam Raimi, so come on. But the second one, it was a nice sequel. I liked the Doc Ock character. I thought he was really interesting, actually. So there wasn't a whole lot to say about that. It was just a good sequel. I like how the first 3 go. It's the continuation of the story, and then by the time you get to the third one, and what happened with the third one was when I went to go see it. The day before I saw it, I rented Monster House on DVD, and they had the teaser trailer for it. And I watched that, and I just see him ripping off this black suit. And, okay, I'm not thinking anything of it, because he's just taking off the costume. I went to go see it in theaters. He's ripping it off, and it's fighting back. I'm thinking, what the hell's going on here? But Spider-Man 3 is probably my favorite out of all the Spider-Man movies out there. Part 3 is my favorite, not because... Well, actually, I should say, for one of the reasons, it's got a lot going on for it. I wasn't a huge fan of how they threw everybody in there. God, don't get me wrong, I hate Emo Peter. Just, ugh. But no, I thought that's probably my favorite. And, I watch it years later, and this year I actually watched it, and I kind of saw that, like the horror elements Sam Raimi usually has in his movies, like Evil Dead. Like when you see the Sandman disintegrating when he's first turning into the Sandman, it's just like that. It's like that horrific. If you get that horrific feeling, like you'll see in any of your other Sam Raimi movies, and as soon as you see that, that's him. That's his work. So I kind of like that. And okay, so Part 3 is my favorite. Now The Amazing Spider-Man. I'm just going to put it to you this way. I hate Andrew Garfield. Ever since I saw The Social Network, don't get me wrong, I hate Jesse Eisenberg too. I think they're both... It's not them, it's just the characters out of the movie. I hate The Social Network, so... I mean, I'm not a huge Andrew Garfield fan, but I saw this movie and he did really good in that. I mean, if they can't... the only thing is, if they can't get Peter, the costume for him right, and they can't get Aunt May right, then, I don't know. I mean, they got them right in the Sam Raimi movies, but they can't get them right here for some reason. But you don't feel like he's a nerd. That's the only thing. But it was actually a really strong reimagining. And I said right from the get-go, yes, they are doing this to put him in the Avengers soon. And I knew it right off the bat. But if that's even what's happening, but everybody's got a strong opinion that that's what is happening. So yeah, I was one of the very first people to say right off the get-go, oh hey, they're making this movie so they can put him in the Avengers in the long run. But yeah, so I thought it's really good, and I like what they're doing. Like in the fourth one, the lizard. In the original Sam Raimi, when they were going to do the fourth one, the lizard was supposed to be the main villain, so they got that right here. And then after that, they were supposed to introduce the Sinister Six and Amazing Spider-Man 5, the Spider-Man 5, and I like how they're doing with that. But to get off, I'm getting off track here, so I did like all the movies. They were all great. Let's go into the comics now, because I kind of want to show you what I got here. So let's take a look. Alright, so we're just going through the first ones here, and these were actually ones that, I got from my uncle. Actually, the majority, what happened was, when I was growing up, I was around 6 years old, and my uncle was, he had a bunch of comics from the 60s and the 70s, and he kept them at our house. He lives in Washington, and you see, I was about 6 years old. My parents told me we had these, and well, they kept them in their room. So the box is sitting over there. So I went. That was the first box. So I was going through them, and I just found like the Amazing Spider-Man and like Iron Man and X-Men and a bunch of these Marvel comic books that I'd never seen before in my life. So I did more research on them, and the first one I started collecting on my own, like to add to his, were the Amazing Spider-Man, because I love Spider-Man. Who doesn't? And then I started working on my own series, like the Avengers. I started doing those on my own. He didn't have any of those. But then recently, we just cleaned out my grandparents' attic, and they had a bunch of old comics in their attic too. And they had some more Amazing Spider-Man ones. They only had like 4, but they had a bunch of others like Howard the Duck and Guardians of the Galaxy. And I'd never seen these before in my life, and it was like a really amazing experience. But yeah, that's what kind of got me started on all of this, and it's actually pretty enjoyable. I mean, like the Spider-Man, the thing that actually got me looking for half these comics was on the DVD. There's an extra where you can look through the gallery of all the Spider-Man comic covers, and they'll give like a brief synopsis. But it's not like every single cover. It's like major issues. But that's kind of what got me looking for them too. So right here we have the Amazing Spider-Man number 14, and this is the first This is the first appearance of the Green Goblin, and I got this on eBay for I don't even know how much, but you can find it like for under, I don't know, $200. You can't find it under that, but this is one of my prized possessions right here. This is probably the rarest, but it's not the oldest that I have. Like, the oldest is number 12, and I'll look for that here in a couple of minutes, because as you can see, like, the big boxes. Yeah. And okay, here it is. Here's 12 right there. That's the oldest one I have, but the cover is detached, so I got it pretty cheap. Now these right here, this was the first issue I got for like $1.50. But this is like, if you look, this is the Marvel Milestone Edition. These were reprints from the 90s actually, but they would do big ones like, if they were a big name character, they do it. Like here's number 3. This is like the first appearance of Doc Ock, and then these ones were these came with newspapers. I don't know which state it was, but they were a collectible series. But they'd be broken up into 2 issues. You see, here's the first half, and here's the second half. So, yeah. Then I have a bunch of those too. Like hold on a minute. We'll put that off the side. We got like number 4, number 5. That was number 2, and here's number 6. So, okay. Oh, okay. Here's one. Anything with Medusa in it, I just love. Any comic with her in it, because she is so freaking awesome. I cannot wait for the Inhumans movie to happen. I've been looking for this one for a long time. There was this one, the one with Sandman and Hydro in it together, and then 14. Those were like the 3 main ones I've been looking for a long time, and I have all of them now. But let's see what else I got. Okay. This is the very first one I ever got by myself. This is the first Amazing Spider-Man I ever bought. Number 79. To Prowl No More. That's a key. No, I don't even know. What else do we got? Okay, here's where it all started out. Started at 150. This is where he started, and it ends at somewhere in here. No, okay, there's the Sandman and the Hydra one, but no, it ends at 201. 201 was the last one he got. So then I just all from here. And from that point there, I added on myself. Here's a key issue I got. 238. The first appearance of the Hobgoblin, actually. And this one I got cheap because let's take a look on the inside. There were originally supposed to be these tattoos that came with it. Yeah, right here. But it didn't come with the tattoos, so that's why I got it for cheap. And here's the other thing, too, that was kind of always interesting. You would always see, and this is how I kind of also learned about old video games, too. Like, here's an ad for Riddles of the Sphinx for Atari 2600. And what year was this? 1982. And this is how I'd kind of learn about video games. Like, it wasn't until I watched Angry Video Game Nerd that I actually understood what these consoles were. Like, because the only thing I knew at the time were, I don't know, PlayStation, Xbox, all that new BS. But this is kind of how another way I learned about old video games. Like, here's what's this? Okay, this is another Atari 2600 ad right here. Here's 252, the first appearance of the black suit. And a lot of people at the time, they were kind of wondering where did the black suit come from. Well, for some reason I add this in here, but this is Secret Wars number 8. And what Secret Wars was it was a series of comic books that a bunch of superheroes went into outer space somewhere, and they fought these battles with a bunch of the Marvel villains. And it was number 8 that Spider-Man. Well, let's take a look on the inside. I'll show you real quick. And Spider-Man, I know this is a reprint, but Spider-Man gets this black suit for some reason because Thor and Hulk are telling him, "Hey, go into this room and it'll fix your costume for you." So he goes in and goes through this thing, and here comes this black ball here. And it gets on him, and there's the black suit. So that kind of carried on for a while until, let's see if I got it here, because I know I do. I'm way too far ahead. Nope. Okay, this is when he gets rid of the black suit right here. This is the first time. And then we got 300, which is the first appearance of Venom. And this was one of the very first ones I got. Even the reprint for this one is very expensive. You can't find a copy of this that isn't expensive, like under $100. But yeah, you will see, yeah, you're gonna hate me for this. But yeah, so like here is like here you'll see that okay, the black suited Spider-Man versus the black suited Venom, and you'll see like Eddie Brock. That doesn't even match up to Topher Grace's body type. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, that's like one of the key issues I have. So let's see what else we got. All right, here's one. Inferno, Green Goblin versus the Hobgoblin. That's one of my favorite issues. Just I don't know why. Just I like seeing Green Goblin take on its predecessor, Hobgoblin. It was kind of interesting. And that was one of the first ones I discovered on the Spider-Man Sam Raimi DVD. That was one of the first ones I discovered. So it's actually Inferno's a set of 3. You got Mysterio, you got Green Goblin versus Hobgoblin, and you got the Lizard. And those, if they were in like top condition, they'd probably be worth 100 and something, but these aren't. But I mean, they're a popular comic, but they're not worth a whole lot. So let's see what else, because I know I'm digging through a bunch of stuff. Okay, here, I'm going in way late now. 413. I specifically got this one because, hey, I saw Godzilla on the cover, so I don't know. Here's the thing. Whenever I go get a comic, it's whether the cover looks interesting or if the story's well known. Normally I don't get like, if, hey, I'll go out of my way to get a reprint. Hold on a minute, I know it's in here somewhere. But, okay, here. Like, if this is a key issue and they got a reprint for it, then, hey, I'll go out of my way to get it. But normally, if the cover looks interesting, then I'll get it. But, like, let's see what else. I know I got, here it is. Number 36. Well, technically, I don't know what issue it is. It's like, 4 something. I don't know. But this is the World War II-ish. I mean, no, I'm sorry. World Trade Center. God, there is no World War II. Oh my God. But yeah, this is the World Trade Center issue. Alright, here are 2 of them. I got, which one is this? 583. This is like the regular cover though, but I bought it for like 20 bucks. This has Barack Obama. This was the inauguration day issue. Let me see if I can find the part where Barack Obama comes on. But there were 2 different, there's actually a bunch of different covers. This was the regular, and then there's, if you look, there will be a different cover with Barack Obama on it. But this was like the whole story right here. Like a couple pages, but yeah, it was a short thing that they put in, and yeah. I figured I might as well get it. And then here's 600. This was the variant issue. This one's probably worth about 15 bucks, but I got that when it came out. And then I got 700 somewhere, but I got the regular issue for that. But like 600, and well, 700's the last issue in the whole series, and I probably have like 168 out of 700 issues. So I still got a long ways to go, but yeah. I just remember comics being nostalgic to me, like, and movies too. These were all a big part of my childhood. Without comics, I probably... You see, comics and movies, they're kind of like an escape into this fantasy world. You see, when you get older and you're still reading comics at my age, people are going to look at you like, why do you... They kind of look at you funny, but they don't understand, like most comic book fans out there do. It's something you grow up with, and it's something you'll probably stay with. Now, as far as my whole comic collection, I have no desire to sell them in any near future, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, if I have kids, grandkids, I might give them to them, let them decide, but there's no way I'm getting rid of these because these hold too much nostalgic value to me. So, in other words, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. So, I will try to see what else I can get out until Season 3 starts up. But stay tuned and talk to y'all later. Goodbye.